Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the crisis rocking those state local government areas, the prospect for peace. Well, I still have my analysts with me here in the studio and the ones joining us virtually. And we're with Destiny Nabulele, one-time local government boss, and of course, one-time also House of Assembly member. So, Destiny, you're making a point. We went for that break. Please continue with the point you were making.
Listen, let me, I can't stop appreciating ITV for this kindness. You see, the issue I raised earlier, which is very simple. My grandmother will always say then back in the village that if a medicine man in the community says he's the only one that has a cure to a particular sickness, you know that is the cause of that sickness. You see, I have listened. I would do, my friend. There's no way. Let us be very sincere. I know that there are no morality in politics. There's no way you will say that a council chairman and the vice committed an offense. Therefore, both should be suspended. There's no way. I was once a local government chairman. Let me be very frank with you. The vice has no business in the council administration. As put it by one of the governors in the West some time ago, that whether deputy or vice is likely to expect tire. That is the way it is. Vice or deputy. In the lifespan of a vehicle, at times the spare tire we may not even enter the wheel one day at a lifetime. It does happen. So for me, I don't know the basis, quote and unquote, if let's assume, according to them, they are culpable or found wanting, that the vice invariably is not becoming a culprit in the whole saga. For us as the Edo people, what we are doing here, although my senior honorable, he said I'm not talking like an activist. See, an activist or the civil society person will tell you the truth, no matter who else is gone. So for us as Edo people, let us be very careful, because this is the only state we have. Whether you like it now or not, after this politics and politicking, we will all go back. Let me quickly use this. My local government, for instance, the chairman and about 8 or thereabout councillors, they camped to APC. So perhaps it's likened to when one of the governors said that if you were a sinner in party A, if you now come to a ruling party, which is the APC, your sins are forgiven. So for me, I want to appeal to every well-meaning Edo people. And again, I can't stop appealing to the governor as it is now. Is the governor. That is posture that symbolizes simplicity. It should exhibit it both in words and in action. Both in words, because I think one of the panelists said earlier that the world are watching, and indeed they are watching.
All right.
The only area I that Honorable he is there in America. Is there in America. See, this is some of the problem I have. If, for instance, I have experience in the developed world, me coming back to my home, I cannot live and what I have seen, both in my action and in my words, then there's a problem.
I'll come back to you.
When you
I
are
will come
going,
back to you,
you will
Honorable
know.
Destiny. I will definitely come back to you if time permits. Now, let's move over to Honorable Igariba. Like what some of them said here, is it the voice of Esau or the voice of Jacob and the hands of Esau that somewhere along the line, the puppet master is not far from the scene? After all, some persons, according to some claims, due to fear, are beginning to decamp. Is that the end game of the APC? Over to Honorable Ehi.
Some of us have been in the APC, and even when the former governor took our mandate and took it to the PDP. We remained in the APC and in opposition for all of those 4 years. We did not extinguish. We were disciplined enough to stay where we were. So if the PDP are self-indicting themselves to the extent of saying that their members are not disciplined enough to stay in their party, regardless of what the situation is, as it were in our own case, then I don't think that is our issue to grapple about. Then I would just like to quickly talk about the June 11th Supreme Court judgment that everyone seems to be talking about. I'd like to throw a little bit more light on it. People are talking about fiscal or financial autonomy. The question is, which I think should be bothering the mind of everyone who is concerned about fiscal or financial autonomy for the local government and the state. Is there anyone in Nigeria today who is enjoying any level of government besides the federal government that is actually enjoying financial autonomy? That judgment was simply to stop the JAC account such that the state will no longer warehouse or receive the allocation of the local government on their behalf before passing it to the local government. When you talk of fiscal or financial autonomy for any tier of government, it's supposed to mean that you generate your own resources and pay a portion of it to the federal, and not the federal sending money to you. That you are not financially autonomous if the federal government still sends money to you. Then when you talk about the current law in the Nigerian Constitution, the Constitution of Nigeria did not create any room to make laws for the administration of local government. The Constitution rested that authority or vested that authority with the various state houses of assembly across the country. They were given the authority to make laws for the administration of local governments. And in the same way that the local governments, those state house of assembly, for instance, can oversight local governments, don't forget, the National Assembly can also oversight Edo State House of Assembly. If Edo State House of Assembly was to have an imbroglio today, the National Assembly will take over the responsibility of making laws for Edo States. So there's when you say principle of separation of powers, to that extent, it is not absolute. Then we come to the judgment that was gotten. What was gotten was an ex parte motion. They got an ex parte, right? Which was to stop an action which they felt to be injurious to them if that action was carried out. Unfortunately, the action had been carried out before the judgment came. So you cannot stop an action that has been completed, right? You cannot stop an action that has been completed. So that's why that judgment could not hold. So my pleading to my people on the other side is that they should please call their party members together, have a conversation. And I saw that happening. I saw some councillors from some local government coming together to show solidarity. Our own is to lobby as many party members from the other side to come to our fold. That's what politics is all about. And that's what exactly we are doing. I don't think anyone should blame us for wanting to increase the number of our party members. Politics is a game of number.
I may come back to you if time permits, but you've made your point. Well, Barrister, right now beginning to wind down the discussion. You heard what Honorable he said about the autonomy, fiscal, financial.
Yes.
You take it up from there.
Yes. I have some issue to contend with him in his own submission. Firstly, the issue of Supreme Court judgment, he was trying to narrow. The judgment is a full judgment. There should not be mouth-pick about the judgment. It's an autonomy to the local government. It's an autonomy granted to them.
It's a financial autonomy. The mention financial autonomy.
See, where you are getting it wrong. The problem is that The local government is a government, it's the third tier of government. And they derive their power from the Constitution.
And that's what the Constitution said, they are subject also to the State House of Assembly.
Well, please, we are going to somewhere.
Yes.
And he made a point that, truly the Constitution didn't provide on how the local government, the laws, how to regulate the laws to guide the local government, which now empowers the state government to make law. And he also forgot that in law, any law that is knowing that is at variance, that is incongruous with the Constitution, is void. Because that particular section that allows the governor to dissolve. You see now, which was in the Edo State Local Government Law 2000. It's no longer realistic. That is the issue. And again, you were not so happy that some persons that they say they want to go and enforce the House of Assembly the order. In spite of there's already a court order restraining. There was an ex parte order restraining the APC from carrying out their action. There was a court order pending the determination of the substantive suit. And they went ahead to be to be parading the name they want to go and enforce. As was, and to me, that is an infraction on the law.
All right.
It's a content. So some people, they just take law into their hands in this country.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister.
We don't want to be saying it. Okay. We are not, even in the judicial end, we are not happy. People should respect the law in this country.
Thank you, Barrister. But some are just opine that in Nigeria, some governors, past, present, doesn't really obey laws. We can cite numerous examples. Well, if time permits, I'll come back to it. If not, to call it a wrap. So please, I'll do. Briefly.
My brother Winston, you see, I'm happy that my brother, the former local government chairman in Abulele, now has now seen the reason why he need to appeal to the present government, that he didn't appeal to Ombaseki when he was, in fact, all through his tenure in 8 years. He didn't obey one single court judgment, one, not even one, to the level that he refused to swear in judges in this state. But I don't want to dwell, as I said before, I don't like dwelling in the past. We're talking about now. The most important part is, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I believe that if today somebody is to be sworn in as a governor, he swear with the Constitution and Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I believe that as it stands today, our Constitution is a grand norm that governs us as a people. I'm trying to go back again to the Section 7 our lawyer here talked about. I'm not a lawyer, but I think as a layman, we should understand, we are supposed to understand how these things works. You know, I would need to add emotions to what is going on. I started an example, and I believe we have gone around, and it still come back to me. Nobody has actually told me that what I said was wrong. I started an example where money are being given to this local government, and we're not seeing the judicious use of these funds. Are we not saying because we have an APC government in Edo, and the local government is a PDP for that singular reason, the House of Assembly, who is a PDP legislative arm majority, should not carry out their constitutional duty, including the legislative arm of the local government, knowing fully well that this local government councillors knows what comes into this local government, and they know how the local government chairman have spent this money. Like Honorable Destiny said, that the sin of the chairman cannot rub on the vice chairman. There is no way the chairman will not be aware of what the vice chairman is not aware of what the chairman has been doing. Because what I would like it on their responsibility assigned to the local government vice chairman. Everybody has his own responsibility.
Thank you.
The truth of the matter is, the legislative arm has started impeaching the local government chairman should stand by one side and allow them to be investigated.
Thank you.
If they are not found wanting, they will return back to their seats.
Thank you so much. Although that is your last line, well, no, but you're going to cap it up on this discussion because our time is up.
It's very interesting because I see a lot of political calculations, even in our conversation, from the man from Abuja. I believe he was partisan in the past government, and it's reflected in his speech. And the other man from
from the US.
From the US, from his speech, he was in the government before the other government. That's I think
still the government now.
Oh, I think so. Okay. So if you look at it, but I don't want to be that partisan, but it's interesting. But if you look at what is happening in the government now, it's playing out from all the speeches, particularly from the two people that are on visually connected to us. You see, you said something that the past government did not obey the court orders, the rule of law, which Mr. Anabulele was in that government. Mr. Anabulele is also pointing backward to the government where the US man is. So that means that there is gross abuse for laws, for constitutional authority, for instrument of government, everything, for even agencies that are supposed to implement governance. There is gross abuse, and this thing is coming from federal, it's coming from even West African governance down here. At the end of this conversation, regardless of who wins, we should put the people first. We should think of their development, not the best orator here today. If you look at it, even in the government, in the Oshomole's government, there was a time we have two House of Assembly. One was meeting inside the government house, one was meeting in his bedroom. So it's still the same commando style. So like what the man in America said, he said, well, the court judgment from Chief Justice I think that's his name.
It's an expert.
That before the judgment, the expatriate.
It's another outcome must be obeyed.
But they said the action has been taken already.
No, look at what I wanted to say now. I'm not arguing, I'm just bringing out, I want us to see calculations. Now, he said the order can no longer be obeyed because the action has been taken. Now, this thing he said, do you know that it can be premeditated? It can be set up. This is what I'm telling you, that the calculations going on have understood how expatriates work, how much time it takes for it to be done. They've thought of it over and over. And they know the laws. These laws you are quoting, Section 7, Section 10, everyone here visually and not visually.
They've calculated
this law. They know the law that has been repeated, that has been repeated, that will not work, and they still went ahead and fired it.
The local government chairman should step aside.
Because they understand that if they fire it,
let the leaders of the council take over.
The money is
PDP fighting PDP.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you. Our time is up, gentlemen. No comments. No comments. Well, thank you so much, Honorable Egariba. Thank you so much, Honorable Destiny Nabulele. Thank you so much, my guest in the studio. As you can see, it's all political. Injunction, ex parte, people coming in, it's all about politics. But one thing should be at the forefront. Those citizens should come first.